Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today I'm answering a Dear Ruth Theresa question. That's right. Today I'm answering a question. I have a client that is in a brand new relationship. I think they're gone on like 2 dates in there. I think they have another one coming up in a few days. So kind of just a few dates in. And she was asking me like, what are some of the things that I should have in mind as we start this new relationship? Just kind of getting to know each other and how do we do this and kind of that sort of thing. And she hasn't been in a relationship in a long time. I would say probably 4 or 5 years or so. So she's kind of asking some suggestions. So these are a few suggestions that I gave her, and I thought I would share them with you as well. So number one is always start your relationship as if it's going on forever. Think about a relationship, not just like I'm starting a relationship and this relationship may last 2 months or 3 months or whatever else, because you're kind of thinking like short term. But what you should be thinking on is this could possibly, not is, could possibly be a long-term relationship. It kind of gets your mindset on of not just like, oh, I don't need to worry about it because we're going to be out of a relationship in a month. It starts you kind of thinking of long-term. Where are we going long-term? And asking those kind of questions. So starting your relationship with that purpose of this is going to go on and on. And so it's not just like, oh, I don't need to worry about this or anything else. And that kind of really affects so many other things in your relationship. Kind of, how do you communicate? How do you talk to each other? How do you divide your time? How do you kind of break things up? Or, kind of like you do this and I'll do this. We both cook dinner together. We should both clean up together. Or I'll cook and you do the dishes. Kind of, that's what I'm saying, is kind of breaking things up into different categories. So it kind of gets you in a better way of communication. The next one is communicate to solve issues or problems or conflicts. And it's not always like major issues, or you could say, go back with the scenario of I'll cook dinner and you wash the dishes. So it's one of those, what if the other person hates to wash dishes? You can compromise to say, I'll cook dinner this time and you wash the dishes. And then next time you can cook dinner and I'll wash the dishes. So it's kind of like, okay, so what she's saying is I'm not going to be responsible for washing every dish, everything that we do. And so that makes it a little bit easier. Or you could say, I'm washing the dishes up so I can cook dinner. Why don't you help me by drying the dishes and putting them away so we'll have fresh dishes to start? And so kind of dealing with things in advance, but thinking of them in that long-term perspective and thinking about how can you calm a situation or really communicate in a very constructive, positive way of kind of allowing things to come through. But there are so many things to communicate when you start a new couple, is kind of like, where might they think this relationship is going? What are the different responsibilities, or kind of like, how do we deal with other issues or scenarios? And so kind of talking things out at the beginning really helps kind of setting that long term, we're going to be in this relationship for a very long time. So it makes it easier. Make time to do couple activities. Sometimes when people have been in long-term relationships and they break up for whatever reason and then they go into another one, they almost act as if like, I've already been in this relationship for 2 or 3 years, and so I'm in this level, without realizing like this is a whole new relationship. I need to start over from square one. And that is a really good thing to kind of keep in mind, is doing couple activities. This can be setting up different dates. And I think at the beginning, when you're not really kind of getting used to each other, it kind of takes a little bit longer to kind of, what do you like to do and how do you like to do it? But also showing the other person, like, what are the things I like? I like to do this. What do you like? I'll plan this date, you plan the next one. And that makes it a little bit easier. But I would also say kind of getting to know the other person and not letting them fall into those long-term things like, oh, your last girlfriend was with you for 5 years, and so kind of you're expecting me to already know what you like and what you don't like in the relationship. So making sure that everything everything kind of has that restart activities to it. Getting to know the other person, kind of doing things together, each person taking time to kind of plan a date or an afternoon or an evening or whatever it is, that also helps. The next one is kind of taking time for yourself. So many times when people start in a relationship, it's almost like I can't get enough of him or her, and I have to be around him all the time. And that can be overwhelming. Taking time off, like I have a family dinner tonight, we'll do something tomorrow or in a day or so. Not putting it off forever, but just going, I still need my me time. It's one of those, so many times people are kind of like, no, we have to be together 24/7, 365 from the moment we get together. No, that can be very annoying, very wearing on the other person, and not giving them a chance to kind of live their own life. So sometimes that helps to kind of like show kind of like, this is who I am, this is what I like to do, and I already have friends to do this. Now at some point you may be invited to come and do this, but at this time it's just for me and these people. And it kind of makes it really interesting to have that kind of double life, because it kind of gives you time away. Sometimes when you don't get that time away, it's kind of like you never really get like off time. You never get to just be relaxed out, and it makes it much harder. The next one is show attention and show a lot of appreciation. It's one of those setting attention of kind of like, I appreciate you washing the dishes. I appreciate you cooking the dinner. I appreciate you the date. I appreciate that. That sort of thing can go a long way. Kind of like, I'm very thankful that we went out and had a great time, and I so enjoyed meeting you, or whatever it is. That type of appreciation can really give someone like that pat on the back that they're really looking for, and kind of like, I really enjoyed this date because we went and did this, or I really enjoyed this part of the date, but maybe not so much this one, but kind of showing that appreciation with it. And I will say the last, but definitely not least, is set healthy boundaries. There are tons of healthy boundaries that should be set at the beginning of a relationship. Even if y'all have been on a couple of dates, it's really time to kind of set those healthy boundaries of what you should do or what you should not do, or where is that boundary. I don't sleep with someone for the first little bit until I get comfortable with them. I don't allow people to sleep over at my house. I set healthy boundaries. Like, I communicate with my partners. I like to communicate a lot. And so kind of, when is that expected? Do you like early morning text messages like, good morning, how was your day, blah, 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 what do you got going on? Or do you not like that? Or do you want a phone call instead? Kind of those things. Kind of setting up those boundaries at the beginning helps so much more than anything else, because you're already letting the person know what you do like and what you don't like. And I often tell people, it's like setting healthy boundaries from the beginning is the best, most healthiest thing you can do as you start a new relationship. What are your healthy boundaries? Where are your limits and limitations? These are like, this is not just a line in the sand. This is the line in the concrete. I'm not going to pass this. And that makes things so much easier and so much better for both sides, because now they know where you stand. They know what you want, what you don't want, that sort of thing. It really, really helps. Let's pull some angel cards and get us a little bit more information on some great ways to set up a new relationship. So right off the bat, this one is jumping off, and new love. When you have a new love, you've got to come in with that idea or that energy of, this could be my forever one. And when you do, like I said, it kind of really sets up some healthy boundaries of kind of, this is going to be long term. This isn't just, a few dates and we're over with. This is setting this up for a long-term energy. Divinely guided. I totally tell you that divinely guided is a very special card at this time. You are divinely guided to each person that's in your life. You are divinely guided to the person that you should be in a relationship with. Now, there could be several of them. A lot of people ask, like, I was really connected to my last boyfriend and now I'm really connected to this one. That doesn't mean that they're not divinely guided. Sometimes they're guided to you for a reason, so you can learn a life lesson. That can be really a great way to deal with that. Manifestation. Most of the time, time, both sides, men and women, want a relationship. They want a relationship that's healthy, that will help them in their life, or kind of give them meaning, and kind of give someone to share their life with. That's a very special way of thinking about this. No one really wants to be in life by themselves. It's one of those, a lot of people want that partner, and knowing that that person is kind of the person for you and you've manifested them, that can be a great way to do this. Support. We have support on the other side. So many times people will start a relationship and they're kind of like, oh, I don't know what I should do. Really asking their divine guidance of their angels and guides. Am I the right person? Not just assuming that you are. Am I the right person? And asking those from the beginning. Am I the right person for this person? Are we going to do well together? And kind of getting that influence from their angels and guides and from yours to find out why you're in this great relationship. What else can you learn from this person? What are some of the fun things that y'all can do together? Or what are the things that you really require knowing about the person? Power. A lot of people think about power in a very odd way in a new relationship, like, oh, if I do that, that puts the power in his side, or if I do this, it's going to put the power on her side. Power isn't all that important. It's all about setting healthy boundaries and setting up a relationship to go the long term, to possibly go there, to possibly be in this relationship for the next 20, 30, or 40 years of your life is the best way to do it. And there really isn't a power structure. It's not like, well, if I do that, if I wash the dishes like she asked, then she has the power. No, there really isn't that kind of power in it. It's about empowering both of you. How do you both feel about it? If you don't like washing dishes or you don't like cooking dinner, then make new arrangements. I don't like cooking dinner, or I'm not good at it. So when it's my night, I like to pay to go eat dinner. That's setting a new power arrangement and kind of setting up some healthy boundaries of what you're about to start in this relationship. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.